So it finally happened, guys. And I gotta say, I lasted a lot longer through this whole market downturn that's been going on for over a year now. I lasted a lot longer than I thought it would. But I gotta say, it finally hit this week. My portfolio is finally down in the red. We are sitting at $63,273.63. And I will show you this later when I get to my moves, but this is with me adding $3,500 over the past couple of weeks. So if it wasn't for that, like I'd be below 60 grand right now. So yeah, I'm finally really starting to feel it. And in this video, I want to go over a couple of things. I want to go over why I'm doing this, why I'm showing my portfolio in the first place, why I'm showing my portfolio going downhill every single week or every other week or something like that. I want to go over my feelings over certain stocks, over my portfolio as a whole. And then, of course, I'm going to go over my strategy for the future, what stocks I'm buying, and what stocks I'm selling. Now, one little tidbit before I get into it is Jeremy's video here. Honestly, now, I haven't done the full math, but you can watch the video if you want to. If you take out Jeremy's Tesla gains, I think he might be doing worse than I am. And I'm just a regular guy. I'm not a financial stock guru by any means. I'm just a regular guy going through the market. So yeah, that is really interesting to see, someone who's been doing this as long as he has been, actually really feeling the pain. So anyways, let's get into it. Why am I doing this? Why do I show my portfolio every single week? Why do I do that despite it going, honestly, for the latter half of 2021 and well into, and even worse into 2022, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much going downhill despite the money I put into it. So why do I keep doing it? Because if I wanted to just gain subscribers and views and all that, I mean, I could very easily just sell off all my losing positions, keep all the winning ones, present my portfolio, and talk about how I am beating the market. Well, despite it being incredibly dishonest, it's also not the point of my channel. When I started my channel back in 2020, beginning of 2020, the whole purpose is to document my journey through the stock market. I am not a professional investor. I may not even be good at this. Now, I have been investing for about 3 years now. That includes the year before I started my YouTube channel. So I do have experience. That being said, no, I am nowhere close to a stock guru, nor am I pretending to be. I am just a regular guy going through the market, documenting my process for good and for bad. And throughout 2020 and the beginning of 2021, I have no problem at all showing my portfolio when everything was going up and up and up. So for me to stop showing my portfolio once we start seeing some weakness, some real weakness, yeah, that'd be dishonest and not the goal of my channel. And the selling point of my channel, or at least when I'm trying to make the selling point of my channel, is that, yeah, I am transparent. I show my portfolio every single week, is that I think that sets me apart from other stock YouTubers out there, and that I show my receipts. And if nothing else, if this is the end of it, and my portfolio never goes up, if nothing else, I can serve as an example. And as a side note, I think it might be a benefit. I don't know, because I'm not you, the person watching this. I think it might be a benefit to, I don't know, see someone else going through this who's not an expert. Because it's very easy to look at Tom Nash and Jeremy and Graham Stephan and stuff like that, because they've already made it. So it's easy for them to talk about it. But to watch someone who's going through it, through the same, year-long downturn that doesn't seem to be getting any better, hopefully that might be a benefit to someone. And that's what I'm trying to do, is to let you guys know that, yeah, you are not alone. I'm going through it just as bad as you are, and things aren't seem to be getting any better. And I also want to showcase how I'm handling it and what my moves are every single week or every other week. So how do I feel about my portfolio right now? Well, I need to preface this by saying that I am a long-term investor. My goal is very simple. I buy great companies, what I think are great companies, and I hold them for the long term. And that's my entire strategy. I've only sold a few stocks last year, and those are for profits. The only stock I've sold at a loss was Hyliion. And that's because this isn't a Hyliion video, so I'll keep this very simple. My opinion on the company itself changed drastically. We'll just leave it at that. But yeah, other than that, I've just been holding on. Right now, we got ARK sitting at negative 45%, and I have no plans of selling that. We got Palantir down 32%. No plans of selling that. No plans of selling Gevo or any of these other stocks. Yeah, any of these other stocks for that matter. And yeah, don't get me wrong. This right here, this is very painful for me to see. Despite me being in the market for 3 some odd years and getting that discipline, this is very painful to see. But as a long-term investor, this presents a very, very strong learning opportunity. Because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, for those who have been in the market longer than me, but we've been on a long-term basis, a bull run since 09, 010. And so for a lot of investors, this is probably the first time we've experienced a prolonged downturn. Now, yeah, the crash in 2020 was pretty severe, but that was over. That was on its way back in like 2 months. The crash was over in like 2 months after that, once the Fed started doing their thing. This drop-off has been going on for a year, starting off with the spec stocks and then slowly affecting everything. I mean, if we take a look at the Dow Jones, yeah, we're at 9.8% down year to date. We've already hit correction territory once, and we're about to hit it again. Take a look at the Nasdaq. Yeah, that's well into bear market territory, and that seems to give no sign of slowing down. So yeah, we are well into bear market territory. I think the U.S. recorded their first GDP contraction as far as the economics. So yeah, no one's doing well unless you happen to be in energy stocks or ETFs primarily. You are probably not doing well. Even Joseph Carlson, his story fund, his growth fund, is in the red. And his main fund, the cash flow fund, I mean, it's in the green, but it's doing a lot worse than it was. So having said all that, let's get to the fun part. What am I doing now? What is my strategy going forward? Well, for starters, let's start with the buys I've already made, the purchases I've already made, whatever I bought and sold. So you can see here on the 21st, I put in a grand. On the 28th, yesterday, I put in another grand, and today I put in my monthly $1,500. So yeah, $3,500 into this portfolio. You can see today I bought some Verizon. I bought a little bit of Gevo, just enough to get me to 1,200 shares even, because I wanted to have an even amount. And then of course, Fidelity put that 001 just to annoy me, but whatever. I bought some Intel. Intel is a very long-term play for me, and that's actually what I'm going to start focusing on going forward, because Intel is a very good long-term vision. I just read his latest quarterly report. As far as the delays, those seem to have stopped. We did see some downturn in the top line. We saw a bit of a downturn in the middle line. If you exclude the some of the non-GAAP stuff. However, I mean, their vision is going forward. Like they are positioning themselves to become a major chipset producer and stuff for the U.S. and I think for Europe. That's not going to happen until 2024, but they're looking very strong. And so I see no reason at all to sell out of Intel at all. They are a very strong player. They're still paying out. They're still paying out a strong dividend, which is only going up. And honestly, I see nothing but good things going for this company going forward. Now, if you want me to come up with a video focusing on Intel about going into my thoughts in more detail, I will. But for now, Intel is a major buy for me. Let's see. I bought some ARK. Like I said, yeah, ARK has been hit pretty hard. But keep in mind, ARK is an ETF. ARK is pretty much an amalgamation of a bunch of different stocks. And as you know, ARK pretty much focuses solely on growth stocks and innovation stocks. And in this market, with the Fed and raising interest rates and inflation and all that stuff, yeah, growth stocks have been hit massively. Let's start with the good one. Tesla, which is doing well, which is positive cash flow, which is, a growth stock that's actually making money and, making record deliveries and all that stuff. Yeah, down 27.8% or 27.9% in the past 6 months. Teladoc, which we all know what happened to that, down 77.7% in the past 6 months. Zoom stock, down 64.3% in the past 6 months. So yeah, those underlying stocks are not doing well. And I could go into each of these stocks I mean, we all know Tesla's a winner. I think Teladoc's a pretty good stock. I've looked through it briefly, but the whole point of an ETF is that I don't have to look into these stocks. Like, the whole idea is to let Cathie Wood take the wheel. And I did look into some of the stocks initially, and honestly, I think that, in my humble opinion, once we get into some sort of a functioning economy, and we will get into some sort of a functioning economy, either that or an apocalyptic nightmare, I'm voting on the functioning economy. And when that happens, these growth stocks will inevitably make a comeback. So yeah, I am focusing pretty heavily on ARK, and I will continue to focus on that in the future. And I will make some weekly buys of this ETF. Palantir is one I've been focusing on a lot. However, I think once I get to about 7 or 8 grand with Palantir, I'm probably going to stop and let the position sit until it either succeeds or fails. FedEx, I've been talking about this a few times on my channel. This is a stock I'm going to keep putting money into little by little. I think I'm getting close to a built position. One where I feel like I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to put any more money into. I think once I hit 7 or 8 grand, somewhere around there, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna focus a little bit more on Verizon as a play. They had a really bad quarter, but I don't think that's going to continue. I think that was just, they lost subscribers. I trust their management. I am a Verizon customer, so I am biased there, but I feel like they're going to turn it around. Now, if Revolve drops far enough, I will continue adding shares because Revolve is a cash flow maker. It's doing very well, and it just happens to have a stock price that just keeps dropping for no reason. Like, for example, Revolve just dropped 7% today because it's Revolve. It doesn't even have earnings until next week, but it just dropped 7% today just because. But yeah, those are the stocks I'm going to be focusing on. One honorable mention, if Facebook drops below 185, if it ever does, I will probably add more shares to that. But anyways, take care, have a great day, and eat your vegetables.